Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Skate Gnarly, and today I'm bringing you a reaction video to 0 night of basic military training in the Air Force. There is a channel on YouTube called Sandbox, which is what you see right now, and they have every week of BMT except Airman's Week. I think they probably do have videos about Airman's Week, I haven't checked, but they have all 7 weeks of actual training weeks. Weeks of training is what they're called, WOT, from BMT. And these videos are so accurate. Like, these videos are really accurate compared to any other video that I've seen on YouTube. And it's one thing for me to show, to talk about BMT and what I have experienced, but it's another thing to actually see it, and for me to be able to like pause the video and be like, look, this is what happens here, this is what happens here. Because when I was coming in, I was so lost. Like, I could hear stuff and be like, okay, you know, I could watch videos and be like, all right, I get this, like, this is what happens, this is what happens, this is what happens. But you kind of have your own imagination of what it actually looks like. But when you can actually see it, you can maybe plan a little bit better. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Make sure you go check out their channel. I'm going to link their channel and the original videos in the description for every single video. So don't forget to check them out. I don't want to like steal their content or anything like that, but I also want to help you guys out, because you can watch a video and the videos are really professional, but I want to be able to explain it the best that I can as well. So jumping straight into it. 0 week. Delivered every week. Sandbox.
Let's go! Yes, sir! Arms to be straight!
That's my jam.
0.
Alright. So starting. This is gonna be really obvious, but this is where you officially get off of the bus for basic military training. You're going to get on another bus when you head to your training squadron, but this is the first time that you step off of the bus onto the base. I mean, unless they have you get out of the bus at the gate for some reason, which they didn't do that for us. I don't think they ever do that, but this is like the actual front of the Finkston Reception Center, which is where graduation, not graduation, because graduation is considered parade, which is on a Friday, but this is where the retreat ceremony is, the coin ceremony. This is where you practice. This is where the airman's run is at this reception center. So you have the reception center, and then right next to it you have this big outdoor arena type thing, right? Which is right behind this building. And right next to this building is Disneyland. So you have 4 big training squadrons. And yeah, so about 20 to 50 feet away from where you step off of this bus, there's like, you know, the building, right? And it's kind of like this, and you have doors on each side. And you line up there. If you're reserve and guard, you get in one line, and the other line is active duty. This is how it was for us. And they'll bring in, like, I don't know, like 20 people at a time, or they'll be like, all right, you come. I think it's actually the whole bus. They'll bring in like that. They bring in that many people, however long the line is, I believe. And they bring you down this hallway. Here, we can watch it.
That I like to call shock and awe. That first day we get them off the bus, we bring them up inside of their dorm.
Okay, so you go down this hallway right here, and this is where you go into a room to get your backpack that's issued, that's filled with all the items that you're going to carry with you and put in your drawers. This is where you get your parka. And this is where you do inventory to make sure that everything that is supposed to be in the backpack is in the backpack. Also, this rail, you can kind of see it, but this railing right here, this is the actual auditorium inside of those doors, which is where you're gonna see it too. But that's where you actually sit, and you get assigned in that room what training squadron you're gonna be in.
Dormitory. We show them the space that they'll be living in.
Okay, this is crazy for me. I watched this last night and I was like, what? This is Disneyland. This is crazy for me. We did not have windows like this in Alcatraz. We did not have nice black beds, nice wall lockers like this. It was nothing like this. We had old white tiles. We had little tiny square windows up here on the wall, if you can see my cursor. But that was it. We had bunk beds as well. Disneyland, they don't have bunk beds. They all have individual beds, but for the first, I think, 6 beds in Alcatraz, they're all individual. And then past that, all the way down to the end of the bay, which is back here, they're all bunk beds. And our wall lockers go also around the walls. And then we have an exit door where this window would be, like, as in there's a window behind this wall right here, so.
Normally that night they have 4 to 6 hours of sleep.
This is where you wait and you get your training squadron, like I said. This is also where you get your They're called box nasties. That's what they call them at BMT, box nasties. They're like a little cardboard box that you get when you first get there. It has a juice in it. It has like a little sub sandwich that's been frozen probably for like 6 months. Like a packet of mustard, a packet of mayo. I think there's Oreos in it usually, and I believe that is it. But this is where you eat that. That's like your official, like your first kind of meal when you get off there, because sometimes a lot of people don't really eat at the airport with the voucher they get at MEPS.
The next day, their second instructor comes in and they wake them up. Once we wake them up, we take.
So this is the DFAC, obviously. Again, Alcatraz looks completely different from Disneyland DFACs. Disneyland DFACs are super confusing. Alcatraz, you have two sides. So you have like the middle part where the actual food line is, and then you have two sides. I don't even know how Disneyland works, to be honest. It's huge. There's places to sit everywhere. When you get there, you will learn exactly where to go. Also, another thing, this is kind of old. Like it's new because it's in Disneyland. It's a video of Disneyland. The other ones don't have that. But this is also old because we don't have web belts anymore. Well, I guess it's not we because I'm not there anymore. But they use backpacks, obviously. But so this is, you only get web belts when you go to Beast.
Them downstairs so that they can eat chow, and then we start processing them. They receive their shot.
This is the most painful part of BMT, unless you break a bone, which doesn't happen often. But this part, like, you stand there and you know it's coming. There's a line of people and they're in a rush. I mean, they're taking their time, they're doing it right, but they're in a rush because they have to get through like 100 people. You walk up to them with your freaking sleeves rolled up and you're like, oh man, you're trying to keep your arm as relaxed as you can because you know if you tense up it's gonna hurt, but you're so nervous. And they freaking plow the shots in you. They're like, gah, gah. It's crazy. And like, just when you think you're done, just when you think, okay, 3 shots, right? That's not that bad. They hit you with the 4th one. And you're like, it hurts so bad. Some people were bleeding all down their arms. Some people weren't bleeding at all, so.
They go over to finance. They do a lot of different things.
Finance is easy. You just go into a little room and there's like some airmen in there that'll tell you exactly what to do. That's when you actually, when your recruiter gave you that paper with like your routing number and your account number, you give it to them, I believe, and they do something with it.
Our meal flights go over.
This is right out, okay. Outside of clothing issue and the haircut place, which is this place, you line up and they'll have you have your Easy Pay cards. I think we can go back and look at your Easy Pay. So these are your Easy Pay cards. They have like preloaded somewhere around $400 on it that they give you. So that you can buy everything because a lot of it is not free. Also, these are the ID pouches that you carry on you at all times. This guy's is super low, but you have to carry around that all the time.
Guys go over to Clipper Cuts and they shave off all of the.
They shave off your head, and it's really cruel how they do it. Like they're freaking like, it's not pleasant.
Hair that they have. For our female trainees, we teach them how to wear their hair. You're here in BMT, so everyone's going to look alike, and you're going to look like brand new trainees. 0 week is when.
Again, this is not Alcatraz. This is Disneyland. We have PT pads like this, but I think they're building a new one right now. Right before I left, a couple weeks before I left, they started building a new one. But they're building a new running track, I believe. But this is super nice compared to the ones at Alcatraz. The concrete's all broken up there, and but you do exercises like this. Like you have like this is a flight, this is a flight, this is a flight, this is a flight, and you all come out there together, and this is like super early in the morning, obviously.
We first give our trainees the opportunity to perform their physical training or PT evaluation. We take them out to the PT pad, and they have to perform.
Okay, let me explain this really quick. A lot of people ask me about this. Hold on. So you have 4 lanes when you're running. It doesn't look like it right here, but here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. The inside lane is for the slow people. So the second week of training, you do your first PT test. Based off of what you score, you are assigned a belt. There's times for it, I don't know them off the top of my head. I think to get a blue belt, which is the best you can, you have to go lower than 1130 or something like that. But the red people and the yellow people, they're the ones that usually kind of get torn up a little bit more by the MTIs. And they're kind of like the slower people. Eventually, in the 4th week of training, you retest. And when you retest, our instructors let us put on our new belts. I'm pretty sure most flights do that, but they let you upgrade your belt to, I went from, I think, yellow belt, because I was super slow. I'm not a good runner, but I went from yellow belt to blue belt in the 4th week of training. So, but basically, blue belt's really good. Red belt's not where you want to be at.
T-pad, and they
Also, you have to stay in your lane. They'll just stay in your lane.
have to perform a 1.5 miles timed, a minute of push-ups, a minute of sit-ups, and also a minute of pull-up.
The pull-ups don't really mean anything for the PT test. They don't really give you any extra points or anything like that. Most people would just jump up on the bar, do one, and then jump off because they don't even really, I mean, they count it, but it doesn't mean anything towards actual graduation. It's really cool to be able to be like, yeah, I did 20 pull-ups, because like they're pretty legit, but most of the time they don't really mean anything.
During 0 week, trainees initially get their Airman Battle Uniform or their ABUs. There's no more civil.
So these guys are on details. They're not actual 0 weekers. These 3 right here, I actually did this job too. For some flights, like the 4th week of training and the 6th week of training, you'll have days dedicated to going and doing details. Some people go to the Finks and Reception Center and clean. Some people go to Beast and help out. Some people go to Seaburn and help out with gas masks. Some people go here to clothing issue. And basically, you just kind of help out the new trainees that are coming in. You help them find their boot size.
In clothing, we all look alike.
This is, okay, when I say atrium, under the atrium at Disneyland, this is Disneyland. This whole thing right there that they're underneath is a dorm. It's crazy, it's huge. This freaking wall right here probably goes up 30, 50 feet. Like, it's crazy. But this is basically their information right now, and you're gonna be doing tons of this. So when I say like, oh, they're formed up under the atrium, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
It begins to start that cohesion of the team.
Oh, okay. In the beginning of the video when I was talking about the outside, like Arena Park behind the Finks and Reception Center, this is this is where the coin ceremony happens. Also, we don't have flashlights like this anymore. This is back when they had web belts on. Obviously, they have web belts on. When you're doing practice and stuff, you don't have your backpack on because they're practicing right now. They usually put you mount your backpacks to the ground, and yeah, so.
Some of them begin to realize that I'm no longer an individual. I am actually a part of a team here.
Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much it. Honestly, that's like the most that I can even say about 0 week. It's just like a lot of appointments. You have tons of appointments, going to get haircuts, going to first clothing issue, going to get your shots, going to when you first get there and you got to get your freaking backpack, going to finance, and getting your boots, learning how to tie your boots, learning how to put blousing straps on. After you get your clothing, you have to go to your dorm, you lay it all out on your bed, you get your freaking Sharpies that they give you, and they have these little cards that help you write your laundry tag, which is the first letter of your last name and the last 4 of your social security number. And you write that on every single thing that you have. The shoes that you brought, the civilian clothes that you brought, the underwear that you have, every single thing. And so that 0 week is just a bunch of appointments, a bunch of preparing for the next coming weeks. And that's when they really yell at you. That's when they really are critical, and they really want to tear you up for anything that you do, just because they need to implement that into you. Like, look, you need to pay attention to detail. This is something different than that outside world that you came from. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Really hope that you enjoyed this video. This is honestly one of the best videos that I've seen for basic military training, just because it's really cut and dry, but it's not dry, it's really short and to the point of what 0 week is, and a lot of the other videos are like that as well. So I'm going to be doing, you know, 1st week, 2nd week, 3rd week, 4th week, 5th week, 6th week, 7th week. Yeah, so stay looking forward to that. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Really hope that you appreciated this video. Don't forget to drop a like and leave your leave dates down below, and hit that subscribe button. I love making videos for you guys. Like, the amount of comments that I get is just crazy. I don't want to ramble on too much about that stuff, but seriously, feel free to comment down below, connect with each other, make some friends before you go to BMT. Just it really does help out with all that sort of stuff. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and peace out.